I roll into the Brookhaven Heritage Club lot, tires bumping over perfect cobblestones that seem to judge every turn. The mansion rises ahead, white columns, clipped hedges, and the kind of shine that smells like old Charleston money and older rules. My stomach tightens. I smooth my light gray jeans. They're designer, but still jeans. I paired them with a navy blazer cut to the millimeter and Italian loafers polished to a mirror. I dressed with care for this sunlit terrace ambush. A tiny voice still whispers it won't be enough. It never is. I spot them before they notice me. My father, Victor, standing ramrod straight in linen. My mother, Lydia, pearls bright at her throat. My sister, Celeste, looking like she's starring in a country club catalog. Their faces are pleasant for the audience, but I know the tension in their shoulders by heart. "Good morning, Miss Diaz," the doorman says, opening the door. My loafers click over marble. Crystal chandeliers cast rainbows across paneled walls. This Sunday catch-up was their idea. Brunch at Brookhaven, the club they've clung to for 3 decades. Father sees me first. The faint frown deepens as his gaze travels from my face to my shoes. Mother's lips pucker like she's tasted a lemon. Celeste already wears a smirk, savoring the scene before it starts. "Opal," Father says when I reach the table, his voice carrying just far enough. "Did you forget this is a respectable establishment?" Conversations around us stutter. Silverware pauses mid-air. "I'm not sure what you mean," I say evenly. Mother sighs. "Dramatic practiced." "Really, Opal? Jeans? Here, I told you we were meeting at Brookhaven."
"They're Armani."
"Mother, they're denim," she snaps. Everyone else managed to dress appropriately. Celeste leans in, sweet as poison. "You look like staff." "Did you come straight from scrubbing your apartment?" Heads tilt our way. A woman 2 tables over taps her companion's wrist, eyes fixed on us. Heat climbs my neck. Father flags a server with an imperious flick. "Excuse me, could you check on the VIP area? Someone doesn't appear to belong." The young waitress flinches, glances at me, then him.
"I'll find a manager, sir."
My throat tightens. Suddenly I'm 7, wrong dress at a cousin's party. 13, B+ to Celeste's straight A's. 22, wrong major, wrong choices wrong me. Always short of enough. "If I'm embarrassing you," I manage, barely audible, "I can leave." Victory flashes in Father's eyes. Good. This place isn't for people who don't know how to behave. The grand room, soaring ceilings, windows framing the harbor, becomes a stage. I'm the unwitting lead in a humiliation they've rehearsed for years. I pivot toward the exit, shoulders tight, when a gentle hand finds my elbow. "Miss Diaz," says a middle-aged woman in a Brookhaven uniform. The name tag reads Mrs. Henderson. I know her, the hostess whose husband needed costly medication last winter when insurance failed them. I'd made calls, covered the gap, and never spoke of it again. She steps closer, voice low. "You helped my husband when no one else could. You didn't ask for credit. Don't let them shame you." Her gray eyes hold steady. We see more than people think. Something shifts, like plates beneath an ocean finally settling. My spine lengthens. "Thank you," I whisper. I turn back to my family. Their faces broadcast certainty. She'll run. That's the story they've always written about me, Opal Diaz, the disappointment. Maybe there's another version. I return to the table, pull out the empty chair, and sit. I lift a napkin, lay it neatly in my lap. "I'll stay for brunch," I say. I'm actually quite hungry. Mother's eyes widen. Celeste's jaw loosens. And Father, perhaps for the first time in my memory, looks momentarily at a loss. I study the menu as if it's fascinating. The morning may have started as their ambush, but it doesn't have to end that way. Father's disapproval curdles darker as I sit. His fingers drum a rhythm I remember from every disappointing report card. "Talk. This is unacceptable," he declares, voice pitched to carry. Jeans at Brookhaven. In 30 years I've never seen such disregard for standards. Mother dabs her lips with linen. "Victor, speak to management." This reflects poorly on all of us. The dress code exists for a reason. Celeste adds, smoothing her peach sheath. Father surges to his full 6'2", scanning for staff like a CEO about to fire someone. He flags a uniformed employee. "We need management." Now, the floor manager approaches, Kendra Holt, efficient and unreadable. "Good morning, sir. How may I help?" Father gestures toward me without meeting my eyes. "This girl shouldn't be here." "Call the owner." Celeste's smirk widens. "Someone's getting escorted out." For a breath, the old urge to withdraw rises. "Make it easy, keep the peace, disappear." Then Mrs. Henderson's words settle me, "Don't let them shame you." Kendra's tone stays even. I understand there's a concern. I'll bring Ms. Sloan, our executive director. Good, Mother says, adjusting her pearls, diamonds winking in the sun slicing through the arched windows. Everything about Lydia Diaz advertises status. Cream sate, jaw-knit tennis bracelet, flawless rings. While we wait, Father launches into the usual speech. This is exactly your generation's problem, Opal. No respect for institutions. I sip my water. Your sister understands propriety. She married appropriately, dresses appropriately, behaves appropriately. Celeste preens. Jackson and I are still waiting on our membership approval. Perhaps if certain people didn't create scenes. Mother pats her hand. The committee will recognize your suitability, darling. I catalog the jabs, the choreography so familiar it's muscle memory. Victor the image-obsessed patriarch, Lydia the enabler chasing optics, Celeste the golden child with the approved husband, and me, the perpetual letdown. A woman in a tailored burgundy suit arrives with smooth authority, Nora Sloan, executive director. Assistant Maggie Adams in tow with a leather portfolio. From the service station, Mrs. Henderson watches, quiet as a lighthouse. Good morning, Nora says evenly. I understand there's a situation. The owner is on site today. Father straightens pleased. Then get the owner. We'll see what they think about the dress code. Nora's expression doesn't flicker. I've already spoken with the owner. She turns her gaze to me, and there's something like respect in it. Miss Diaz is the legal owner of Brookhaven. The terrace inhales. A fork clatters to china, Mother's mouth parts. Celeste's forms a perfect Father freezes mid-gesture. I meet Nora's eyes and give a small nod. Perhaps we should continue in your office. Of course, Miss Diaz, she says. This is ridiculous. Father sputters, color rising. What sort of joke? It isn't a joke, I say, standing, smoothing my blazer. Mother whispers, you cannot possibly own Brookhaven, eyes scanning for witnesses. Please, Nora gestures toward the main building. As I pass, Celeste grabs my arm.
What are you doing? You'll humiliate us.
No, I say, releasing her grip. You already tried. We move down the portrait hall. Founders in oil paint frowning from the walls, as the story they wrote for me begins to unravel. Nora's office feels like another world, quiet, cool, perfectly ordered. She gestures toward a small conference table gleaming beneath soft light. Maggie is already there, arranging folders in careful symmetry. Please, have a seat, Nora says. Father remains standing, looming like a storm cloud. I demand an explanation. Maggie opens the portfolio. Brookhaven Heritage Club was purchased 9 months ago for $16.4 million, she says evenly. The previous board resigned following mismanagement. The buyer was Diaz Leisure Holdings, LLC, managing partner, Miss Opal Diaz. Silence falls heavy. Celeste's head jerks. That's impossible. You can barely manage your own life. How could you possibly? I cut in before she finishes. You just tried to remove the owner of this property. Maybe think about that before you continue. Father's complexion drains to a chalky white. Mother stares at the papers as if sheer disbelief might change the words. For 31 years they have told me who I am, the disappointment, the one who never measured up. Sitting here now, the script no longer fits. Something expands inside me, quiet, bright, and weightless. Freedom. Father's voice returns, brittle with outrage. This must be a mistake. He slams his hand against the polished wood. Nobody buys Brookhaven without word getting around Charleston. There's no mistake, I answer calmly. The sale stayed private at the former owner's request. I honored that condition. Mother leans forward, pearls clicking softly. Darling, you can't possibly run something like this. The responsibility, has been handled for 9 months. I finish. Apparently quite well. No one even noticed. Celeste circles the room like an agitated cat. You did this to humiliate us. You bought our club just to prove a point. I bought an undervalued property, I say. The fact that it's Brookhaven is coincidence. Father's eyes narrow. How did you even afford this? $16 million. My tech startup sold last year. I diversified. They never asked about my company. Never cared enough to know. Nora stands poised near the door. I turn to her. Remind me of the policy on member conduct. Article 7.2. She replies smoothly. Behavior that damages the club's reputation, public disturbances, harassment, or conduct unbecoming a member. A temporary suspension can be issued immediately, followed by committee review. Good, I say. Let's follow procedure. Father laughs, a sharp, incredulous sound. You can't be serious. I'm entirely serious. For the first time in my life, I feel absolutely steady. For 31 years. I tell them, I let you treat me as less than Celeste. Less than your expectations, less than worthy of respect. That's not true. Mother protests. We only wanted what was best for you. Best, I interrupt. You tried to have me removed from my own property because you didn't like what I was wearing. Father rises, voice booming. Watch your tone. I won't be spoken to. That ends today. My voice slices clean through his. Your membership is suspended, effective immediately. His face darkens to crimson. You can't do this. I can, I say quietly, pressing the intercom. Nora, would you come in, please? She enters with Maggie close behind and Mrs. Henderson lingering in the doorway. Eyes steady, loyal. Mrs. Henderson. I say, would you be willing to give a statement? Gladly, she answers. I saw Mr. and Mrs. Diaz publicly humiliate their daughter and attempt to have her removed. Mrs. Renner participated. 2 uniformed security officers step inside and wait. File the report. I tell Nora, 30-day suspension for all 3 parties, pending committee review. Nora nods. Documenting now. Father sputters. I've been a member here since before you were born. Then you've had plenty of time to learn the rules. The guards move forward, polite but firm. Mother's tears start, predictable as clockwork. You can't do this to your own family. I'm enforcing the same rules you've used to judge others. I say, nothing more. As they're escorted out, I add softly, no one deserves disrespect for what they wear, or for who they are. When the door closes behind them, silence settles like cool rain. Through the office window, I watch their figures crossing the parking lot, shrinking with every step. For the first time in decades, I breathe without permission. Mrs. Henderson sets a fresh cup of coffee beside me. Well done, Miss Diaz. I wrap my hands around the mug, warmth seeping in. Thank you for everything. 2 nights later, my phone won't stop pulsing on the nightstand, the blue light flashing like a heartbeat I can't ignore. 11 missed calls, 9 texts, 3 voicemails. The clock reads 11:42 p.m. Celeste's name glows on the screen again. I know exactly what she'll say before reading the same blend of anger and desperation that used to hook me every time. When curiosity wins, I swipe open the message. You can't do this. Think about what people will say. People. Always that invisible jury of Charleston society, the same ghosts they sacrificed me to for years. I scroll through the earlier messages. 3 missed calls from Mother, 2 from Father, 7 texts from Celeste. 1 email titled, Legal Notice, Immediate Attention. Mother's voicemail plays automatically, her voice trembling in well-rehearsed distress. Your father's blood pressure is through the roof. Is that what you wanted, Opal? To put him in the hospital. Call me back right now. For a heartbeat, guilt tightens its claws, that trained reflex of 3 decades trying to keep the peace. Then I exhale, reach over, and power off the phone completely. The room falls into pure silence. For the first time in years, I sleep through the night. Morning light spills through my apartment windows when Amara Ramirez, my attorney, arrives. Crisp charcoal suit, calm authority. She sets a leather folder on my kitchen counter. Coffee, I ask. Black, she says with a small smile. I pour her a cup. The routine steadies me. I've reviewed everything, she says, flipping through documents. Your actions followed the bylaws to the letter. Their membership suspension is airtight under both club rules and state law. Relief escapes in a slow breath I didn't realize I was holding. So they can't sue. Not successfully. They can try to create noise, but the evidence protects you. Written policies, surveillance footage, witness statements. She glances up, her tone softening. They'll probably try emotional tactics instead. They already are. Amara nods. Then my advice, stay quiet publicly. Document everything privately. No comments to press or members. Let the process speak. I stir my coffee. This was never about humiliating them. I know, she says. It's about boundaries. The word lands like a bomb, simple, solid, long overdue. Later that afternoon, my phone buzzes again. Nora Sloan. Your father's been busy, she says without preamble. He called 3 board members directly. And they didn't know him personally. 2 asked why a suspended member was contacting them about an active disciplinary issue. There's the faintest trace of amusement in her voice. Any threats, I ask. No. But he's been overheard calling the staff incompetent and hinting about connections in Colombia. We've logged everything. A new message flashes on my laptop screen. Celeste. Through the Synced messaging app. Marshall refuses to get involved. Says you went too far this time. Hope you're happy. Marshall, her husband. The family's legal fallback. Apparently not this time. Has my mother reached out to anyone? I ask. Her lunch group suddenly canceled yesterday. Nora replies. And the Harrington-Wilson charity meeting was mysteriously rescheduled. I can almost hear her smirk. So, I say, Charleston's social calendar has shifted. She's discovering that reputation works both ways. Nora answers. Also, your father's attorney requested the surveillance footage. We provided it. His reply was short, the evidence is clear. After the call, I walk to the balcony overlooking the historic district. Sunlight glints off slate rooftops and church steeples. The old and the new, side by side, unwilling but coexisting. It feels strangely symbolic. The next morning I arrive at Brookhaven early. The air smells of fresh coffee and magnolia blossoms drifting from the gardens. Staff greet me with quiet respect. Not fear, not deference, just something genuine. Mrs. Henderson appears, refilling my water glass. The staff lounge hasn't stopped buzzing, she says. I arch a brow. Good buzz or bad? She smiles. Good. For once. People say it finally feels fair around here. She hesitates. You know, for years your father spoke to staff like we were invisible. Now everyone knows dignity matters again. Her words sink deep. Does it bother anyone that I suspended my own family? She shakes her head. Quite the opposite. It showed that no one is above the rules. Even the owner's blood relatives. Members begin filtering in for breakfast. Several stop by my table, introducing themselves properly for the first time. One older gentleman clasps my hand. About time someone remembered what this place was built for. Community, not cruelty. I manage a real smile. That's exactly what I intend to protect. 2 weeks later, the Compliance and Discipline Committee finishes its investigation. Their process is meticulous. Witness statements, CCTV footage, and quietly collected reports of previous incidents involving my family. Things the staff never dared document before. The verdict arrives in a sealed envelope placed on my desk early Wednesday morning. I break the seal with steady hands. Permanent membership revocation for Victor and Lydia Diaz. Associate status terminated for Celeste Renner. 30-day appeal window. I sign the formal letters myself. My pen glides across the paper without hesitation. For once, my signature doesn't shake. It looks like ownership of the club, yes, but mostly of myself. That evening, I drive home along the Battery, where century-old houses gleam under golden light. Families sip iced tea on porches, the same families who've whispered about the Diaz's for years. They say change in Charleston comes slow. But tides shift fast when you stop pretending the old world is sacred. When I park in front of my apartment, my phone buzzes. Nora's text appeal period opened. No appeals filed. I lean against the door, exhaling a long, quiet breath. The past finally releases its hold. The next morning, I step into the glass elevator of my office building. From here, the Charleston harbor stretches out like a mirror of silver blue. Normally, I love this view. Today, my chest feels tight. When the doors slide open, Celeste is pacing in the reception area. Her eyes are red, her perfect hair undone. Seeing her like this jolts me. It's like watching porcelain crack. You're early, I say carefully. This couldn't wait, she blurts. You have to stop this, Opal. My assistant glances up nervously. I nod toward my office. Let's talk privately. Inside, she collapses into a chair. The polished chrome and glass reflect her disheveled image from every angle. Mom hasn't left the house in weeks, she says, tears slipping down her cheeks. Dad's blood pressure's through the roof. His friends won't return his calls. Mom's charity board froze her out. Do you even care? I stay standing. That's unfortunate. Celeste looks up sharply. Unfortunate. Their whole reputation.
Our name is ruined.
The Diaz name used to mean something. It still does, I say quietly. It means accountability now. Is your revenge worth destroying our family? She snaps. After everything they sacrificed for us, what exactly did they sacrifice? I ask softly. Her mouth opens, then closes. She searches for an answer and finds none. They gave us things: Celeste, houses, parties, rules. But not respect. Not love that didn't have strings attached. The phone on my desk buzzes, but I ignore it. She shifts tactics. Uncle Robert called. Aunt Patricia, too. Pastor Williams says you should forgive them. Heal the rift. I let out a short laugh. Funny how everyone wants peace once the power balance changes. Celeste's eyes fill again. You've made your point. You have power now. Isn't that enough? Her words hit harder than I expect. For a heartbeat, I wonder if she's right, if this is still about proving I can. But the thought passes like a wave. No, I say quietly. It's about peace, and peace doesn't come from surrendering to bullies. That night alone in my apartment, I stare at the framed family photo on the shelf. Celeste and me in matching dresses, mother's hand heavy on my shoulder, father standing tall behind us. I trace the glass over my younger face. Was I too harsh? Whispers the old reflex. To answer it, I reach into my desk drawer and pull out a worn leather diary, the one I kept since childhood. The pages smell faintly of dust and old ink. October 12, 2003. Dad said my science fair project was adequate, even though I won first place. June 8, 2008, Mom told Grandma I was finally looking presentable at graduation. Everyone laughed. May 15, 2015. At college graduation, Dad complained about missing his golf game. December 21, 2009, Dean told them about my startup's funding. Dad said playing with computers wasn't real work. Celeste changed the subject to her husband's promotion. Page after page, the same messages: you're not enough. I close the book and set it aside. No more, I whisper, to the past, to the pain, to every unhealed version of myself still waiting for their approval. 3 days later, we meet at a neutral restaurant downtown. They arrive together. Father first, still projecting authority, mother, eyes already glistening, Celeste trailing behind. This has gone on long enough, father says, as if issuing an order. Hello to you too, I reply calmly. Mother clutches her napkin. After all we've done for you, Opal. How could you? Celeste crosses her arms. You've always been selfish, but this is. I accept that this is how you see me. I interrupt softly. But I'm not here to negotiate. The decision stands. Father leans forward, red with fury. You're destroying this family. No, I say, standing. I'm saving myself from it. He pounds the table.
You can't just cut us off. I can.
And I have. Our relationship going forward will exist only with respect, or not at all. I place my napkin neatly beside my plate and step away from the table. Behind me, I hear mother's quiet sob, Celeste's gasp, father's angry whisper. But none of it follows me out the door. For the first time in my life, I'm not running from their disapproval. I'm walking toward something better, myself. 6 months later, the Brookhaven terrace glows beneath strings of warm lights. The air hums with laughter, live jazz, and the soft clink of champagne glasses. The annual charity gala has returned, revived, radiant, and nothing like the stiff pageants of the past. I move through the crowd, no longer invisible but seen. Truly seen. Nora appears beside me, tablet in hand. Silent auction numbers just came in, she says. We've doubled last year's total. I grin. That's the power of good lighting and decent hors d'oeuvres. She laughs. And leadership. The renovation budget paid off. Staff satisfaction is up. Membership up 18%, turnover nearly zero. I glance around. The ballroom glows under new chandeliers. The walls painted warm ivory instead of cold white. Staff weave easily between guests, smiling without fear. This is what I'd wanted, not revenge, but renewal. Mrs. Henderson, now Hospitality Director Henderson, her badge gleaming, approaches with a clipboard. The kitchen team asked me to thank you, she says. The new equipment changed everything. They deserve tools that work, I reply. Her expression softens. You've changed this place, Miss Diaz. People feel valued now. Her words fill a space inside me that used to ache. That was always the goal, I say quietly. As I step onto the terrace, the sea breeze lifts the hem of my gown. The same terrace where my family once tried to have me thrown out. Now guests greet me with genuine warmth. Lovely evening. Miss Diaz, best gala in 20 years, says retired Judge Patterson, raising his glass. The praise lands differently now. I don't shrink from it or search for hidden criticism. I simply receive it. Beyond the terrace, the Charleston harbor reflects the sunset like molten copper. The sound of laughter rises from the lawn, and I let it wash over me. Somewhere across town, my parents are probably attending another club's function. New faces, same masks. Celeste texts sometimes. Harmless messages about the weather, a forwarded meme, a tentative thread of peace. The wounds are healing in their own quiet way. I climb the stairs to the upper balcony. From here, the view stretches wide: water, city, sky, all bathed in rose gold light. This is where the old story ended: humiliation, shame, surrender. And this is where mine begins. A young server approaches, tray trembling slightly. Her name tag reads Jennifer. Everything all right? I ask. She hesitates. May I ask you something, Miss Diaz? I gesture to the chair beside me. Of course. My parents, they think I'm throwing my life away by going to college, she admits. They want me to stay home and help with my younger siblings. They say I'm being selfish. Her words echo like ghosts of my own past. I study her face, so young, still believing she needs permission to dream. Your life belongs to you, I say gently. Their disappointment is theirs to carry, not yours. Her eyes widen, filling with tears. No one's ever said that to me before. Then let this be the first time, I tell her. If you ever need support, we have a scholarship program now. Talk to Nora about it. Jennifer nods, smiling through her tears. Thank you. As she walks away, Mrs. Henderson joins me again, gazing out at the harbor where the sun is dipping low. Justice finally came back around, she says softly. Justice never left, I answer. People just forgot what it looks like. The horizon blazes one last time before twilight takes over. I raise my glass, not to revenge, but to renewal. 31 years I chased approval that should have been freely given. Now I understand respect isn't begged for, it's built, moment by moment, on your own terms. The waves catch the fading light, scattering gold across the water. And for the first time in my life, I'm not reaching for anyone's hand to steady me. I'm already standing tall.